All right. Hey, team. Welcome to our Thursday night call. It is Thursday, May 12th, and I am super pumped for tonight's call. So if you guys were on last week's call, Danielle and I flip-flopped because we have our calls at the same time, and we're just going to collaborate. So last week I had talked about social media and all that fun stuff, and I was so excited. So this week Danielle is going to share. But before we do our call, I just wanted to give it a shout out. I don't know if she's on the call, to Miriam, who ranked up to Emerald today. So way to go, girl. I'm so proud of you. So tonight, Danielle, and I'm not going to pronounce the last name because I botched those like none other, is talking. I met Danielle through the Central Board / through Super Saturday. She's super awesome. I've actually been following her for quite some time. I didn't even know she lived in Columbus since I've been following her because I've met her through Tara Carr. But Danielle is a 2-star diamond coach, 3-star combined, and is a Success Club 5 all-star legend, maybe? Yeah, one of those. I had the notes and I forgot to write down. So Danielle, I'm actually just going to turn it over to you and let you do your stuff.
Okay, cool. So I have to share my screen, and I'm really bad at technology. So, I think I got it to work. Okay. But then everyone disappears when I do this. Okay, but I'm just going to keep going. So I can't see anybody. So Ashley, if I need to shut up or something is going crazy, please let me know. So let's see, where do I want to start? So Ashley said, my name is Danielle, last name is Hogle. I know everyone wants to say Hogle. But tonight I want to really dig deep and share with you how to make the most of your time. So Ashley last week mentioned how she's like a planner nerd and is like obsessed with planners. I am too, and I didn't even know that about her, and I'm obsessed with organization. I'm obsessed with organizing my time. In college, I would write out when I would shower, when I was going to eat, and my mom was like seriously concerned because she saw my planner and she's like, oh my gosh, Danielle, are you okay? Because this is not normal. But it's always been normal for me, and so I'm really excited to share this with you tonight. So I'm going to talk about making the most of your time. I have 2 main goals tonight. I want you to walk away from this never ever saying again that you don't have time to grow a successful business. My second goal for you is that you walk away from this with a plan to where you have smart success and not stress success. And I know Shalene Johnson talks a lot about that, and we'll talk about her as well. So this is really important for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's important for you. It's important for you to get your life together. Not just, our lives are all chaotic. Let's just be honest. I mean, my house is falling apart, just moved, all of that. So I get it. But it's really important for all of us to have some organization in our business. No one wants to join a coach that is completely lost. If they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy and I don't have time and I don't have time for fun and I don't have time, no one's going to want to join you. And for me, I want people to want to join me. I want them to see that this is fun, that, you can have success and still have fun in your life and not lose everything. Okay. So I think that's really important. We also get a lot of objections, right? So I get a lot of objections about not having time to work out, not having time to prep food, not having time to work a business or, whatever. And so for me, it's important for me to have organization so I can say, girlfriend, I totally know what you're talking about, but this is what I've done, and this is how I've made it work. So you want to have your own story of how you can organize your life to share with other people so they know that they're joining something that they can actually do because they know someone who has done it. There was a quote when I first started my fitness journey, and I'm going to share that with you here in a second, but when I first started, there was a quote that I always read to myself, and it was, there is someone that is busier than you that is running. And I'm not a runner, and I really have no desire to be a runner. Not gonna lie. But that quote stood out to me because it is just the fact that someone is doing more than I am, but they're also busier. They have a busier schedule than I do, but they're still making stuff happen, right? And so that just really stuck with me, and I hope that sticks with you. The reality is that you and we don't need more time. We need more commitment and more focus. So I hope that tonight I can share a little bit of that with you. So let's roll. All right, so I know since I don't know very many of you, I think it's important to share my story and why the heck I'm even talking to you about this topic specifically. So this was me in December of 2011. I was a recent college graduate with my master's degree. I went to the University of Toledo, and I graduated with that master's degree in sociology. And I was, at the time, living in Dayton, Ohio, and there I was working 2 part-time jobs. Really, they were both like full-time jobs, but I got paid like part-time, so that was really cool. But I was working at a domestic violence shelter, which was extremely stressful. And then I was also an instructor at a community college. I was teaching sociology courses. And so I had a full load, and I was extremely busy. And so every single morning I stopped at McDonald's. I got my breakfast burrito meal with my Coke. As soon as I left class, I stopped at McDonald's and got a French fry and a Coke. And then I went to work, and then I got home. And usually my parents and we ordered Jimmy John's or something like that. So I was drinking about 6 pops a day and eating fast food at least 2 times a day. And it was disgusting, but at the time it felt like that was what I needed. So I was offered in December, I was offered my full-time dream job at the Ohio State University. And so this was a dream job for me because I had just graduated with my master's degree. I wanted a full-time job. It was government, so it's safe, okay? And if this is ever going to be out publicly, I don't really want to bash any government jobs, but you get paid for being there, right? So it was a safe job. You get really great benefits, and it's really cool. And I was like, yes, this is the best thing ever. And I actually am going to use my master's degree. How cool. I was 50 pounds overweight. I was extremely unhealthy. The picture on the right here, my mom took that of me. And when she took that picture, she said, oh gosh, Danielle, are you pregnant? I've never had children. I was not pregnant. And so that was a little, my mom was not trying to be mean, but she had never seen me like that. I was wearing tight tank tops to cover it all up. And, I did my best to hide all of that. And so she genuinely thought that I was pregnant. And so that was a real wake-up call for me that it was definitely time to do something different. However, I hated exercise. If you went to college, you probably had not free, you pay for it, but you had access to a rec center. I did as well. And I went about 5 times in the 5 years that I was there. I actually took a turbo kick class, and I said, I will never do that ever again. And if you know me now, I'm obsessed with turbo fire and turbo kick. But I hated exercise. I did not want to go to a gym. I was extremely uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. I hated the way that I felt. And so going out in public and trying to figure out what to do was just not something I felt comfortable with, especially when you're in college with all the meatheads walking around. I hated people. And I know the word hate is really bad, and we should never say that, but I genuinely disliked people. This is where personal development was extremely important for me, but I was always that person that I thought people were always out to get me, that no one could truly love me. No one could truly, accept me for who I was. And so I had to get them before they got me. So in high school, people thought that they called me the B word, and I took ownership of that. And I was like, yes, I am. And people thought that I would fight people for them. And I'm like, dude, I've never fought a day in my life. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm not really that mean. But I put on that persona because I never wanted anyone to get in. I never wanted anyone to know my real struggle. So I put up a guard. And so that is definitely something that I've had to work a lot on with Beachbody, where we're supposed to be vulnerable and share our struggles and all of that. That's a struggle in itself. I was in debt with student loans. I went to undergrad, I went to grad school, and so I definitely had some student loans. And if you have student loans, more than likely you've been told, just deal with it. You're going to have them the rest of your life. They're high interest rate, and you're just going to pay like $1 million for a degree that you're never going to own. Good job. And so that was me, and that was my thought. I was driving a 10-year-old car. I got my first car when I was 15 and a half, and I didn't get rid of it until this year. But I was extremely frugal, and I was not going to spend any money on a car or anything like that because, frankly, I just didn't have the money. I joined a gym, however, so I don't like the gym. I hated exercise. But my significant other, I had moved in with him in about November, December, and he said, Danielle, just join a gym, and there's one right around the corner. So I joined. I started paying $50 a month, and I went about 2 times a week to a class, and then I finally stopped going because I couldn't make it in time. I talked crap about my now sponsor. So when we always say like, oh my gosh, people are talking about me. Yes, they are. They are talking about you. I was texting my friends. I was like, oh my gosh, did you see what Tara's doing? This is so annoying. Her photos are photoshopped. She's so fake. There's no way that's working. She's not making that much money. This is stupid. Little did they know that I was personally messaging her like, please help me. But that lasted for about 5 or 6 months of me just being jealous, to be completely honest, of her and talking about her. The biggest thing for me at this time in my life was I just moved. I was now living with my boyfriend, and I was in a sorority and in college, and there I was living with 25 people. And I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, you lived with 25 girls. Please never, ever do that. But I loved it. At the time, a lot of times it was annoying, but I really missed out on that friendship, that bond. I needed a team. I needed girls that I could just go to and just know that they had my back no matter what. And so I really missed a lot of that, and that was a big struggle for me. January 28th of 2012, finally Tara said to me, she said, Danielle, you either do this or you don't. Like, I still have the message that she sent me because I kept messaging her, asking her for help, telling her I didn't have time and I didn't have money. And she said, you either do it or you don't. And I said, okay, fine. Let's just do this. So I signed up in January of 2012. Not since then, but as of now, I make more money as a coach than I do for my full-time job that I had to have that master's degree for. There are months where I make 3-4 times the amount of money that I make for my full-time safe job. I can tell you now that my safe job is Beachbody, that if I get fired or laid off or anything from my full-time job, that I feel comfortable, that I can survive, and I can survive comfortably with Beachbody. If it was the other way around, if Beachbody somehow went away and I only had my full-time job, I would not feel safe. I would not feel comfortable. So it's more than just money. It's about it's about, just that safety net. It's about having that just reassurance that you're doing the right thing, and that, in the future you have that financial freedom and comfort. I paid off all of my student loans in February of 2015. If I can do it, you can do it. I ripped up those bad boys and they were gone. It was the day after my birthday. I'll never forget it. So don't take everybody's, oh, you always have a student loan. No, you won't. Shut up. Just go pay them off. You can do it. I won the Beachbody Financial Freedom Award last year. So this picture, top right corner, that is me getting excited, sitting on the ground, going to accept that reward. I built a brand new home last year with my significant other. And so that would have never happened if it weren't for Beachbody and having the amount of money and savings to do that. I bought a new car this year, and it will be paid off this year. Thank you, Beachbody. And then I'm in the best shape of my life. I've lost the weight. I feel good. And I love fitness. I am now a group fitness instructor. I teach, feels like almost every single day. And I love what I do. I think Beachbody makes fitness fun. And I think that that's the most important part of this whole journey. I was a Beachbody Challenge winner. I won $1,500. So if it works for me and happened for me, it can happen for you. I was in the pilot infomercial. No, you cannot see me in the infomercial, but I'm there working out. I'm in the back. And I'm genuinely happy. And that's the best thing that has come from this. And now I have my grown up sorority, is what we call our team, with my team, Pretty Powerful Women Empowering Other Women. So all this to say, you're probably thinking, okay, that's really cool. So you make more money at your Beachbody business than you do from your full-time job, and you're happy and you love what you do with Beachbody. So you probably quit your job, right? No, I'm still a full-time employee. I am still a group fitness instructor in the evenings. I'm a dog mom, and I was gonna put a picture of my girl and boy up here, but I didn't, I forgot. But you can find them on my Facebook, because we will be getting our second dog in 2 weeks. I don't know why we're doing that. And I have my significant other here that expects time from me, and I'm also a girl boss building my business. And so you may be thinking, Danielle, if your business is so awesome, why aren't you quitting your job? And I want to tell you right now that if your goal is to quit your job, I want you to quit your job. I really do. However, for me, I love the power of my story. I love being able to share with people, I work full time and I run a successful business, so you can do it too. If you haven't listened to Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing business, I highly suggest it. And he talks about the power of that story to be able to tell people, I make more money doing this than I do for my full-time job. I love this more than I do my full-time job, because the people that you're going to attract are going to be like you. So if you're working full-time or part-time or whatever, or you're a busy stay-at-home mom, whatever, you're going to attract people that are like you. They're going to relate to your story, and they're going to need to say, I can do that. If you can do that, I can do that. So for me right now, it doesn't make sense to quit my full-time job because, as I said before, I don't believe that I need a whole lot more time. I just believe I need to be more focused and more committed. So failing to plan is planning to fail, and I know everybody knows that quote, so we're going to get into it. This is my favorite. Love your business like a hobby. If you don't have passion, if you don't have excitement, if you don't go into working your business, getting excited about it and loving what you do and helping people, then it's not going to go very far. And trust me, there are plenty of days, I think Ashley talked about this last week, there are plenty of days where it's just like, I just don't feel like it. Like, do I really want to be doing this? But for the most part, I hope that you love your business like a hobby, but you got to treat your business like a business. And that is the part that most people stop doing. And that's where they come to a halt in their business, is because they don't treat it like a business. So I want to help you organize your daily coach lives. So let's get into it. Here are just a quick few things before I really give you the nitty gritty. You need a planner, okay? And I don't care what planner you get. I use kitlife.net planner. It doesn't matter. If you want to use a sheet of paper and just write out your schedule, that's cool. But you have got to organize your life. And that means you have to say what time you wake up, what time you're going to shower, what time if you shower, I don't know, maybe you don't shower, but what time you're going to eat breakfast, what time you're going to do all of these things. And I know some of you are like, Danielle, I have kids. I have no idea what time they're going to wake up. That's cool. However, the rest of your stuff that you do know, where you got to be, cheerleading, football, whatever, we got to get that organized, and it has to be written down. So you need a planner. You need to be clear on your priorities and your goals. By that, I mean, we talk a lot about your why. Why are you working your business? They say your why has to be so strong it makes you cry, right? So why are you working your business? But what is your priority? Is your priority to grow a successful business? Or is your priority to spend more time with your family? Is your goal to hit elite this year? Or is it to hit premier? Or is it to hit diamond? You have to be extremely clear on that before you can even set your schedule, because that is going to guide your schedule. If your priority is to watch reality TV, then your business ain't going nowhere. And that's going to tell you where you're going to spend your time, right? So you have to get clear on your priorities, because later on you have to decide what you're going to say no to, what you're going to do, and what you're not going to do. You need to say, number 3, you need to say no. You have to cut things out. You have to make sacrifices. I'm talking to you tonight as if you are in this, you're in it to win it. No matter what, you're going to be successful. You're going to hit elite. You're going to be a top 10 coach. I don't bring anyone onto my team without, I'm going to assume they're going to be a top coach. I'm setting that goal for them because that's my expectation. I believe that each and every single one of us can be a top coach, can be top 200, can be elite. So that is my goal for them. But you have got to decide if that's a goal for you, and you have to be willing to make sacrifices. You have to say no to things. Can you go out for wine on Friday night? No, I'm sorry, I have business hours. You know, for me, I have to say no to classes, to teaching fitness classes. That is the hardest freaking thing for me to do. I love teaching, but there are nights where I have to say, I'm sorry, I can't. I have a meeting and I have business hours that I have to be at. So you have to decide what you're going to cut out and sacrifice. You cannot add on a business without cutting out something else. That's just reality. So if you're not willing to cut anything, then it is going to be somewhat difficult to add in a business. So think about that. Number 4, you need to cut out the ish. The ish is extra junk that you're just doing. For me, scrolling Facebook. For me, playing with my dog, like for hours and not stopping. For me, it's reality TV. It's getting sucked in to back-to-back episodes. You know, so you got to figure out what kind of ish you can cut out. I do want to go back, though, to your priorities and your goals and what you can cut out. I was at Summit my very first year, and I had a business meeting with Tara, who is my sponsor, and we were talking about time, and I said, girlfriend, I have no time. I work full time. I teach my classes, blah, blah, blah. And she said, Danielle, what does your evening look like? And I said, well, I get home, I eat dinner, I watch Big Brother, I watch So You Think You Can Dance, and I watch my soap opera, and then I go to bed. And she's like, hold up a second. You watch like 2 hours of TV and you're telling me you don't have time? And I said, ooh, that's not good. I probably should not have told you that. But for her, that priority, her goal was to bring her husband home from war. He was in a dangerous place for months at a time. So if that was my why, to bring my significant other home because they were in a danger zone, then perhaps my priorities and my goals would have been a little bit different. For me, I didn't have that situation. So for me, yes, watching my soap opera for 15 minutes a day, do not judge me for watching a soap opera, but watching my soap opera for 15 minutes a day with it being me time, that was okay. That's okay for me. I still put that in my schedule and that works. Now, 2-3 hours, I had to cut that ish out. And I say that for the weekend when it's date night and we can watch our shows. So I also want to throw that in there because again, I want you to have a life. I want you to do the things that you enjoy. So you have to get real clear on what's most important to you. And for me, my goals are important, but it's also important for me to watch my soap opera. Okay, number 5, you need weekly and daily to-do lists and goals. We're gonna get into that. Number 6, you need to never say, I don't have time. I, for a couple of years, said, I don't have enough time to grow this business. But the most important thing that I did was I said, I don't have as much time as Tara. If I was okay, listen, you've done this too. If I was a stay-at-home mom and I could run my business a little bit better. And the stay-at-home moms say, if I just had to work full-time and I didn't have kids, I would be able to run this business. So we all compare ourselves to other people's situations when in reality, we got to put our blinders on, forget other people because it ain't about them. It's about us and our goals and our schedule and what we can do. So we had to stop comparing our time and time limits to other people. And that was something that I learned. And once I stopped doing that and I focused on me and what I could do, that's when my business really took off. Push by Chalene Johnson. If you do not have that yet, you need to get that. You need to read it. Set your priority statement. Set your top 10 goals for the year. Okay. I'm probably going, am I good on time? Okay. Make and find time. This is my bread and butter to how I stay sane. I set my office hours. So in college, professors have office hours. During those are times when they have focused time with their students. Nothing else happens during that time. It's only that. So for me, I set my office hours. This is me time. This is business time. So this is how I do it. What I would suggest you do is sit down write down your days every single day. Mine look different, and I would assume yours probably looks somewhat different, Monday through Friday. I don't schedule Saturday and Sunday. That's just my thing. But you could do that as well. So for Monday, I'm giving you the example here. This is what my Monday looked like without Beachbody. So you can see I got ready. I drove to work. I worked. I had lunch, work, drive, teach, drive. I drive too much, shower, dinner, relax, bed. That's life without Beachbody. So what you have to do is you have to take that and say, okay, cool. This looks really busy. I have no time. However, look at that. I could wake up 30 minutes beforehand and work my business. I could at lunch, instead of just eating lunch, gossiping, or just sitting there by myself eating, I could work for 30 minutes. At night, I could make myself stay up an extra hour and work my business. That is a total of 2 hours to work your business. I tell people, if you can give me an hour starting your business, you can be successful. So if you can give me 2 hours by doing these small, simple things, then you can be successful. So I would suggest doing that for every single day. I have here John Acuff. If you do work full-time, even if you don't work full-time, his book, Quitter, is thebomb.com. I know a lot of my coaches have read it and reread it with me because it really is good. His suggestion is to work your business 30 minutes before you do anything else, because it's going to relieve some of that in your mind of everything that you need to do. And also, if your business is fun for you, then it is going to give you that outlet to get it out before you have to go into normal, regular life. So that's something that he suggested, which is why I suggested waking up 30 minutes early. Driving. You might not drive as much as I do, but I do all my personal development in the car. I very rarely listen to the radio or to music anymore. It's all personal development. If you're cleaning, I'm not good at that. But if you clean, you can listen to personal development. You got to find ways to work that in. When you're driving, you can do calls, hands-free. But I do a lot of my calls when I am driving because, again, that's going to save me time. So when I sit down to actually work my business, I'm doing the hardcore content where I have to be on a computer. And then at lunch, again, I said that you can be working. Okay, next, daily actions. Okay, so these are just the real basic things that are no matter what. These don't really have to be scheduled so much because they're the first things that you should do when you sit down to work your business. So personal development, one of the 4 vital behaviors, your power of 3s. So these are things that are, I said they weren't scheduled, but they are scheduled, but they should become a habit. So if you have no more time than 30 minutes to an hour, these are the first 3 things, in my opinion, that you want to do. Personal development, your power of 3s, which means inviting or adding 3 new friends, starting 3 new conversations, and inviting 3 people. And then creating your social media content to post 3 to 5 times a day. I don't put in your being proof the products work because that should just be a separate part. That's your workout, all of that, your shake, all of that. So that's something separate. I don't think that needs to be scheduled. It should be scheduled, but not in your business hours. So here is, I'm really excited because this is something that I just started and it is working like fabulously for me. So your weekly goals and your power hours, let's freaking break it down. So first of all, you want to brain dump. I don't know about you, but for me, I sit around all day long and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should do Instagram and I should do Snapchat and I should do that and I should start a website and I should start a blog and I should follow up with my coaches and I should email my customers and I should do a newsletter. Anybody else? Like, do you just sit there like all these things going on in your mind that you could do to grow your business? What you want to do is just take about 45 minutes, write down everything that you've ever thought about before that you wanted to do, needed to do for your business. That is your brain dump. And then from there, you're going to make your to-do list. And this is how you're going to do it. Or this is my suggestion. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving suggestions. Set 10 goals each week. Okay? So this is what I'm doing and it is working fabulously for me. So examples here are create content for a free challenge group. Listen to a purchased training. So if you've purchased any personal development training that you've been putting off doing for years, ship some gifts that you have, buy a new phone. That's on my to-do list. Research blog tips. So see, these are the things that come from your breakdown. And you're going to break it down into small chunks of what you can do in 1 week. So after you do your power of 3s, after you do your personal development, after you create your social media content, then that's when you start working on these extra things that you need to get done. I suggest if you do not have a success partner / accountability partner, you get one and you do this. This is what me and my success partner do every week. We check in, we say, okay, what are our 10 goals for this week? And we write them down, we send them to each other, and then we follow up the next week and we say, okay, what did you get done? Why did it not get done? How successful was it? And what can we do better next week? So these goals are going to change each week based on how you want to do. So if you create your free content for your challenge group, next week it might be that you are, creating a free event or doing an event on Facebook to invite people to it. It's whatever that big goal is that you want to break down into chunks. So from there, I break it down into my power hours. I have set up several different power hours. I don't do them all every single day. It's based on what I need to do for the day. But here are just a couple of examples. And I a lot of times don't have a full hour. So if it's not, then I break it down into 30 minutes. You get it. So they're based on the 10 goals. So on the left, you see here 1 power hour. I start all of my power hours off with a girl power song because that gets my mojo going. Like it just makes me excited. And then I write my 2 2016 business goals and 2 affirmations. So again, it's just getting my mind right to get started. And this might not be your power hour. It can look totally different. I spend 10 minutes in the Coach Online office sending emails, and then I spend 10 minutes doing social media posts for the day and my power of 3s. So that's a real basic, like if I only have 1 hour in a day, this is the power hour that I would do. And then the other one I have here is, listen to my girl power. And then I'm going to spend time on Instagram. I'm going to do Facebook interest lists. I'm going to work on some training for my coaches. I'm going to plan and advertise and create my challenge group content. So this is another one that I'm working on this week. But again, that is extra in addition to my power threes and my, three vital behaviors, all that kind of stuff. So again, I would suggest, create some power hours. The biggest thing that I can say is you have got to use a timer. I set my timer on my phone, 5 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. Because if not, Instagram is going to take you on a whirlwind and you are going to become obsessed and you're going to spend like 3 hours like, oh my gosh, I have 20 million new best friends because everybody's so awesome. So I have to limit it to 15 minutes or I will never stop. So use your timer on your phone. And at the end, I can take questions if I'm not making anything clear. Okay, daily extras. This is just an extra little thing that I throw into my business just to keep me feeling good, to keep me kind of a little bit more on track. These are, again, extras. This isn't part of my power hour. These are when maybe TMI, but if I go to the bathroom, everybody takes their phone to the bathroom. If I'm just sitting watching TV, then this is my daily extra. So on Mondays, I send 2 thank you notes. I believe that it's super important to send thank you notes. I would love for you to get in the habit of sending at least 2 thank you notes every single week just to add value to someone's life. And it's handwritten by you, sent in the mail. Like there's still that mailbox thing. So I really suggest doing that. It brings more into your life, I think, than even what it puts in somebody else's life. It's just powerful. So thank you notes. On Monday, I also check in with 2 of my downline coaches on my left leg. So I have to kind of break it down that way so I can keep track. On Tuesdays, I might message 2 clients from February and lift up a leader, in which on my bigger team, I send a personal message to a different leader and just say, hey girlfriend, you're awesome. Wednesdays, I post a tip in my team page and I check in with 2 person sponsor coaches. So you can kind of get it. It's just like these extra little things that I think would add value to other people, add value to my own life. And I just want to make it a point to do them. And so I just make them an extra in my business. Okay, so that wraps it up. I want you to decide what you want, write it down, make a plan, and work on it every single day, no matter what. I want to end with this because I just finished listening to You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I think that's how you say it. And I was listening to it and I wrote it down on my phone. And I apologize there's a curse word in here, so I apologize. But she said, this shit is not for sissies. The moment it gets hard, you will quit. If it wasn't uncomfortable, everyone would be out there living their fabulous lives. Often, we pretend we've made a decision, but what we've actually done is signed up to try until it gets too uncomfortable. If you try to work your business without setting a schedule, without having focus, without having commitment to following a plan, following a power hour, following your 4 vital behaviors, it will not get done, and your trying will lead to nothing. So don't try. Make a decision. Work on it every single day. Follow your schedule. Follow your power hours. And don't ever use that you don't have time as an excuse ever again. We all have 24 hours in a day. Yes, we all have different levels of busyness. We all have different situations going on, but I can guarantee every single one of us has said about someone else's life, like, I wish that I had time like they did. And they're saying the same thing about you. So let's not use that excuse anymore. Let's show people that you can have fun as a coach, that you can have smart success, not stress success, and actually go out there and make a difference and still have a life. Cool? That's all I got, Ashley.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Danielle. I don't know about you guys, but that was an amazing call. And you guys know how I feel on the whole, like, I don't have time thing. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I put in headphones. I never know which ones work and which ones don't. But you know how I feel on the whole I don't have time thing, especially for Team Fair to Get Fit. So it's nice to hear it from somebody else who also says the same thing. And it's nice to hear from somebody else who's working a full-time job and also working their business full-time. So thank you, Danielle. Danielle, are you up for some questions if anybody has any?
Yeah, for sure.
My team tends to be super quiet. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, somebody out of the gate that I don't have to beg to ask a question. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Hi, Danielle. I hope you can hear me. I just wanted to say thank you for talking on a team call tonight. I really could relate to you because I work full-time and I'm doing Beachbody right now as a part-time thing. But I had a question about your power hour. One of your bullets was Facebook interest list. Can you kind of talk about that a little more and what that represents?
Yeah, so I would suggest Google to figure out how to do it, because I don't know if I can really explain it. But on your Facebook, on your home screen, on the left-hand side, you can go down to the bottom and click, I closed my Facebook so it wouldn't make noise at me. But there's a way to make what's called interest lists, I think. I think that's what it's actually titled. And what you do is you create groups of people that you want to actually see on your newsfeed. So that way you don't see everybody and all the negative junk. So for example, I have a list of, people that I'm wanting to make new best friends with, people that I think would be awesome coaches, my challengers, my personally sponsored coaches. And so I put them in a group. So when I go onto Facebook, I'm not scrolling. I click on that interest list and I can see all of those people pop up. So that way I can be interacting with them more and I'm focused on them. You want to make sure when you create that group though that you make it private. If not, they're going to get an alert that says, hey, Jessica just added you to her prospect list. And that's really weird and uncomfortable. So make sure you make it private. But yeah, so I add people to that interest list and I go into those interest lists and like and comment and interact with those people.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
That's an awesome idea. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Anybody else have questions? Now is the time to ask, guys. Oh, Katrina. Yes.
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Danielle. So you said you teach fitness classes. Has that really helped your business? Do you get a lot of new customers or coaches through your fitness classes?
That's a great question. And not really. And I know that sounds weird, but because a lot of places, gyms, your classes, you have to be really cautious about not stepping on their toes. They really don't want you advertising that you're Beachbody and that you want people to work out from home, because then they won't come to the gym. So they really don't. A lot of times when you sign up for, to start teaching there, they actually tell you, network marketing stuff is not allowed here. However, what I do, so if any of you are fitness instructors, I do ask people to be friends with me on Facebook, so that way they can see what I'm doing, and that way if they're interested, they can always ask me. But it's kind of a hard line. You don't want to cross it. And I would also say, because I am so passionate about my fitness classes, if you are really passionate about teaching classes and you want to, I would tell everybody to do it. But don't get into teaching classes in order to thinking that it's going to grow your business, because you won't enjoy it and it really won't grow your business that much to where it's going to make a significant impact. So please only get into teaching if you actually love it.
Perfect. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Scotty? Yep, I'm coming, Scotty. Give me a second. I got to find you. They changed my Zoom. It's weird. There we go, Scotty. You're unmuted.
All right. I noticed earlier you were talking about sacrifice, and you said that, talking about your fitness, sometimes you've had to sacrifice fitness classes. Have you ever lost any clients as a result of sacrificing them?
Lost clients as in like my classes?
Yeah, like anybody in your class that you've taught?
Probably. They would have been contacts that I probably could have met with. I guess there's always that kind of sacrifice, like even if you're sacrificing not going to a night out or something like that, like you can always make contacts wherever you are. So I guess in that way I could have. But for me, I think a lot of times it's more important. So one thing that I would suggest doing is, I forget who did this, Chalene Johnson maybe, figuring out how much money you want to make for the whole entire year, okay, with your Beachbody business. Breaking it down to how much that is an hour. How much money are you worth? So are you worth $50 an hour? Are you worth $100 an hour? And decide if what you're going to do. So for me, teaching a fitness class, I don't make a lot of money. So deciding if that's worth it to go do that, or stay home, work on my social media, reach out to the people here, work on my challenge group, stuff like that. So that's kind of where it is kind of hard to decide what is worth it. But yeah, so I would say, a lot of times you are going to have to make sacrifices, and sometimes it can hurt your business. But for me, teaching classes, probably not all that much.
I lost Scotty. I think Scotty got kicked off.
Oh, no.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? Yeah, Melissa, go ahead. Oh, I probably should unmute you, Melissa. That would probably help. Oh, go ahead, Melissa.
Hey, Danielle. I want to say first, thank you. That was awesome information. Took notes like a banshee. With you working a full-time job, I do that as well. I work for GNC. It is a conflict of interest if I talk about Beachbody. When you just talked about when you're doing your fitness classes and you ask them to, friend request you or whatever on Facebook. What would you say is your, I guess, direction that you talk to them about that?
Are you asking how I get them to friend request me, or?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so this probably won't work for you as well, but anybody who actually teaches classes, I take pictures and I say, I'll tag you if you add me as a friend on Facebook and I'll tag you in the picture. Or I offer my free groups. So, I'm doing a free dinner, quick and easy, healthy recipes. So I'm going to tell my classes that I'm going to say, I'm going to do a free online group. If you're interested, I'll send me a friend request. And what I do, my biggest tip is when you're there with your people that you want to friend request you, don't tell them to go home and friend request you because they won't. What I do is I say, girlfriend, add me I say girlfriend a lot, but add me as a friend on Facebook. And I give them my phone and I have them find themselves and add them. So that way I know they're already in there. I go home and I send them a message. And I'm like, hey girl, I'm so excited to have you in my free group. Let me give you more information or whatever. So for you, I might suggest something along those lines. Like if you can connect on something different, or, if you can say, I'm offering this free group on Facebook, I know you're getting these supplements. That's awesome. Let me add you in this free, clean eating group to try and help you a little bit more. Add me on Facebook. Maybe that would work. I don't know.
That sounds doable.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Perfect. Well, Danielle, I don't want to take up any more of your time because I know it's late, but thank you so much for putting I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, merging our teams calls together on. This was great, and it was a lot of great content. So I hope you guys got amazing notes from this call. Make sure you guys go and follow Danielle on Facebook. She has got some amazing posts. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you all. You're awesome.